Jesse Kelly Show. Let's have some fun. On a Wednesday, I want to congratulate you for forging ahead through the week because you have crested the peak. It's hump day. We're over halfway done. It's smooth sailing now all the way to the weekend. And here's what we have on tap tonight on the world famous Jesse Kelly Show. I am hoping to get to a bit of an email roundup in a little while because they're kind of stacking up on me. But before we get to that, we have to get to a couple things. Good things. Something good happened at the FBI. We'll discuss it. Something bad happened with the judge. We'll discuss that. Democrats in disarray. They're trying to scold their young communist base. We'll talk about it. Should we adjust our relationship, if you will, with some countries? We'll talk about that. And insider training, insider trading, all that and so much more coming up on the world famous Jesse Kelly Show. I want to begin here, though, with the little informative segment, if you will. This is for you, and this is for me. This is for us in our daily life, because you know what's part of life and has always been part of life. This is not unique to America. Debating things with people. Maybe it's as simple as, hey, what do we want for dinner? Debate. What movie do we want to watch? When I was a kid, that was Blockbuster. You walk into Blockbuster and you have a big family fight for 30 minutes trying to decide which movie to rent. But maybe it's political. Maybe it's at work. Hey, what should we do with the sales? Should we do the... But debate is not one of those things you're going to be able to avoid in life. You're going to want to know some basics on how to do it. But for our purposes, we're going to discuss debating communists tonight. What are they after? What are they trying to do? And how do you counter it? First, before we get to Trump laying out a masterclass in something, and this is me. How many times do I come on the radio? I love Trump. Trump's the best. Trump. I realize that's every other radio show on the air. Do I do that? No, I don't. Trump did something. It was so perfect. It was masterful. Before we get to what he did, what are they trying to do? That's an important part of any debate. When you're having a family argument about dinner, you better understand the motivations of it. Well, okay, why has he said no to 3 of his 4 favorite things? Because he has one thing in mind. He's trying to shoot everything down and get everybody pigeonholed into one idea. Why? What's his motivation? What's the communist trying to do? Remember this. All communism, all of it, is based on deception. Lies are not some unfortunate thing they have to do from time to time. It is a basic part of it. They have to lie about their intentions because destroying something is a hard sell. So 1, you have to get that. If you don't get that, don't even move on to step 2. You're done. It's all based on lies. And it's based on appealing to you and your emotions and your morality. They don't share yours, but they know what yours is. And that's why they tell you, would Jesus want to deport people? That's why they do that to you. Works very effectively. It's great. It's very effective on people. 3, they don't have any depth of knowledge, and they don't want it, you see. Remember, the communist is a herd animal above all, a herd animal. And for someone like you, this is going to sound bonkers. For me, it sounds bonkers. But half this planet doesn't want freedom. They don't want to think. They don't want to be free because that comes with risks and it comes with burdens. The family dinner debate. If instead of it's a debate, someone just says, hey, you pick where we're going for dinner. A lot of people feel pressure. Oh, what if I pick the wrong thing? Same thing with how people go through life. You, because you value freedom, you think that applies to everybody. Oh my gosh, you are so mistaken. Even if people are led in the wrong direction, half the people out there want to be led. Just tell me what to think. Tell me what to say. Tell me where to live. Tell me what to drive. Just tell me what to do so I don't have to think about it. I don't have to be responsible for it. I'll just be part of the herd. And so as herd animals, they have to get their leadership from somewhere. Well, They get it from the hive mind. The hive mind being what's being put out there by the media, by Democrat politicians, by communist professors, by Hollywood. All these things form one gigantic hive mind. Your liberal Aunt Peggy will move breathlessly from Russian collusion to another topic, whatever the newest scandal of the day is. She knows all the talking points and nothing else beyond that. Why? She gets an upload from the hive mind on what the latest talking points are, and she carries those into the world. But that's the important part, you see. Liberal Aunt Peggy doesn't actually know what she claims to know with any depth, and she knows that. She gets that. She's just a sheep who's been fed a couple talking points. But how do you deal with that? Well, here's how you deal with it. When you are debating and you don't have any depth of knowledge, or even you're wrong, or maybe you're lying, that'll come into play with this interview. What you will try to do is get a rise out of the other person. That helps you. Or move on and change the subject. If they shoot down a point you made, if they expose a lie you told, okay, well, anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. I know this happens to you in your life when you debate Democrats, when you debate politics. It's happened to every single one of us who's ever done this. Whether you're at the house or a family reunion, they'll call you a Nazi. Well, okay, well, whatever. Anyway, Trump's evil. They'll try to change this up. No, stop. Now, this is the important part. What do? You stay calm. Don't let them get a rise out of you when they offend you with something they're trying to offend you. But also you stay firm and you don't allow them to move on. If they've told a lie, you make them sit on top of that lie until they basically have to admit it. You don't let them move on. I'm going to play you a snippet. It's a long snippet. I may let the whole thing play, probably not. But at some point, I'm going to let the whole thing go. This is Trump. He sat down with this communist named Terry Moran from ABC News. And this specific argument is about the MS-13 guy they deported. That part's not actually as important. The important part is watch how President Trump handles the lies. Watch how he watch the calm, but no. You just said it. Listen to this masterclass.
Murderers, criminals in this country. We have to get him out, and we're doing it. And you'll pick out one man, but even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
Well, wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute.
No, stop. Did you hear what he already tried to do? Well, no. I mean, he had some tattoos that were interpreted that way. But let's move on. He tried to nail Trump down on the MS-13 guy. Trump said, no, these are the facts. And what did he do? How did he respond? Anyway, let's move on. Now listen to how Trump handles it. Terry Moran wants to move on. He got his upload from the hive mind. He dropped the talking point out there. He doesn't know anything else. He wants to move on. All right, let's move on. Listen to what Donald Trump does.
Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry. Hey, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry just did it again. Now he's getting desperate. Your liberal Aunt Peggy will respond the same way. Well, anyway, we'll agree to disagree. Let's move on. Don't let her do that. Your polite nature is going to want to let her do that. You're going to sense her discomfort, and you're going to want to let her off the hook. Don't do it. Stay right on top of him. Listen to what he does.
Do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Your liberal Aunt Peggy will do that too, what Terry Moran just did. When she feels it crumbling, when you won't let her off the subject, when you won't let her off the lie, she will try the excuse. They are taught this. Democrats are taught this. This is taught to them. It's a tactic they all use. Well, okay. Well, anyway, I'm not an expert on it. When they start to explain why confiscating guns will reduce crime, and you expose that lie. So anyway, look, I'm not a gun guy. Anyway, I'm no. Don't let them. Just like Trump.
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS, as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't
Take a look
there,
at the
but
photograph.
they're there now, right?
No,
but they're there
in
now.
your picture.
Terry,
Ukraine, sir.
he's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't you
sir.
just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
That's so good. That's how it's done. That's what you and I have talked about forever. That's how it's done. And he did it to him in another way. We'll do one more example, then we'll move off this and do some other stuff on the show. Well done, Mr. President. Listen to that yourself. That's how it's done. You stay calm. You stay on them. Don't let them change the subject. All right? It is the Jesse Kelly Show, and we will get to the judge and the craziness about the stopping the Border Patrol from arresting people. We'll get to that in a few here. I want to finish up on this thing where Trump sat down with Terry Moran of ABC News. And look, there was a lot of funny in it. A lot of it was great. But I want to focus on you, really, me. I want to focus on teaching us how to have these debates, how to win these debates with the crazy communist in your life, with the Democrat in your life. I already laid out the whole last MS-13 stuff, how Trump stayed calm, how the communist in your life, just like Terry Moran, will try to move on when his lies are exposed, when his points are being knocked down by you. He will try to move on. He'll try to change the subject. You stay calm, but you don't let him. Calm but firm. Calm but firm. Calm but firm. Always remember that. Trump did it well. Trump did it so well. In another little question, little back and forth here. Here it was.
A legal note, fraud is a crime. There have been no referrals to the Justice Department at any.
Well, you don't know that, do you? How do you know that?
Just stop for a second. Trump, I want to give you a little bit of background on it in case you didn't watch it. They're talking about what Elon Musk and Doge is doing. And remember, for America's communists, this is not a small thing. It's not just that communism in America is funded and organized, it's funded by you. The American taxpayer is funding American communism. Years and years and years of criminal corruption in the government has led to the creation of all these nonprofits and NGOs and all these types, and they've figured out a way to get large amounts of your money from the federal government, so you paid for the invasion of illegals. You paid for all these abortions. You paid for all these things. And what's more, they have to have it. It's their biggest funding source by a mile. Maybe you think the biggest funding source of American communism is George Soros or someone like that. Oh my gosh, George Soros is nothing compared to how much you have funded and I have funded. So the Elon Musk Doge stuff, exposing things like Stacey Abrams' climate group getting $2 billion. Well, it's everything to America's communists. Without it, without you paying for their communism, they become nothing. Their whole movement disintegrates. The American media, obviously, they are part of America's communist movement. They know that. That's why they get angry about any attempts to claw that money back. They know where that money's going. They know why it's going there. That's what they're talking about here when Terry Moran is trying to push back. Well, there haven't been any criminal referrals. Anyway, that's the background.
A legal note, fraud is a crime. There have been no referrals to the Justice Department at any.
Well, you don't know that, do you? How do you know that?
Have there been referrals to the? Are there criminal referrals?
How would you know that?
I'll let them keep going in a minute. But did you see what just happened? Your liberal Aunt Peggy will do this to you. She'll say something. She'll make a statement. And she will sound so confident in her statement. The statement will be an outright lie or something she made up, just a programming note she got from the hive mind, but she will say it boldly. And in that moment, she will be so bold with her statement, you might be tempted to shrivel up a little bit. Ooh, is that true? You'll start to question yourself. Oh my gosh, is that true? She's lying. She's always lying because they're lying at all times. Ask her where she got that information. She won't tell you. Either she won't be able to, or she'll know she shouldn't tell you. But ask her calmly. Oh, really? Where did you find that out? And then don't let her get away with some 1 or 2 word answer. I saw it on the news. No. Really? Which channel? Who was the host? I actually act curious. Hey, I want to find that information myself. Where did you find that? Don't let her get away with this either. Well, I don't remember where. No. That's the central part of your argument. You made a declarative statement. Now defend it. Anyway, here was Trump, Terry Moran.
A legal note fraud is a crime. There have been no referrals to the Justice Department on any.
Well, you don't know that, do you? How do you know that?
Have there been referrals to the? Are there criminal referrals?
How would you know that there were no referrals? I think there were referrals.
They generally are. There's been no investigation from the Justice Department.
How do you know that?
I'm asking you, sir.
No, you're not asking me. You made a statement. You're not.
Now I'm asking you.
That was a statement that you made. There had been.
I'm asking you.
Have there been? Yes, there have.
So there have been referrals for fraud from the work of the
judge. Have been. Take a look at some of these things that took place. Billions of dollars were given to people for no reason whatsoever. Of course there have been.
I want to bring up.
That's well done. It's not about Trump beating up Terry Moran, which was honestly just hilarious more than anything else. But he was really, really, really good. And I'll tell you something else. Light years better than he was. It's not that I ever thought he was a bum or terrible at it, but they used to get Trump on his heels because he didn't understand what he was dealing with, defending himself. I already said I reject racism. I already said you used to get flustered. Now, calm, cool, on top of him. It was wonderful, wonderful to watch. Let's move on. We'll talk about this judge and illegal immigration. It is the Jesse Kelly Show on a Wednesday. Remember, you can email the show, jesse@jessekellyshow.com. Love, hate, death threats. Ask Dr. Jesse questions for Friday. All these things are welcome. Bring it on. All right, I'll give you one more little funny from the Trump thing. I guess it's a Trump show today. Is this?
A very good defense, hopefully a great defense secretary, but he'll be a very good defense secretary.
You have 100% confidence in
I don't have 100% confidence in anything. Okay, anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question. Look,
it's a pretty important position.
No. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I love how he treats reporters now. That's how I treat Chris and Corey. It makes my life better. It makes what, Chris? It makes me feel better treating you like crap because that's what you deserve. Let's move on to America. Headline, Blue State Judge, California, of course, attempts to stop Border Patrol from arresting suspected illegal immigrants without a warrant. We don't have to cover something we've covered ad nauseum, but let's talk about this for a second. Why illegal immigration? Why are they obsessed with it? Why do they love it? And why is that a consistent thing across the civilized world? Why? If you talk to a Canadian, Canadians are going through this exact same thing. Mass importation of foreigners. Talk to somebody in the UK, same thing. Mass importation of foreigners. Germany, it's been a story worldwide forever. Mass importation. France, mass import. Why? What is going on? What is the deal? Remember this. Remember the 3 characteristics of the evil people who run the West. No love of country. Let's focus on that for a moment. If I don't love the country, if I'm not loyal to the country, well, then my only loyalty is to myself, to power, to money, to things like that. Well, if I'm in charge of something, a country, call it America, and I want more power and money, And I don't care about America. I don't care about crime. I don't care about the country continuing to exist, frankly. I don't care about housing prices or schooling or anything else. Well, why wouldn't I bring in a bunch of loyal people? They have to outnumber the patriotic citizens. All of this comes down to that. The patriotic citizen, you, the patriotic citizen, you are what keeps these people up at night. It's not Republicans in the House or Senate or any of that other stuff. The patriotic citizen who loves his country and wants what's best for his country, that, for the elites, that is the most dangerous thing on the planet. It's more dangerous than Russia or Islamic Jihad or disease or anything else. If these people had their way, if they could get rid of one thing on the planet, it would be you. It would be the patriotic citizen, because only the patriotic citizen stands in the way of what they really want, and that's complete control and tyranny over everything. Mass importation of foreigners gets rid of you. You become less of a problem. Oh, right now you have a vote. Did you know? Have you ever sat and thought about how much power you have? Did you know you have power? You did know that, right? Maybe when it comes to things like presidential elections or the Senate or something, maybe you don't feel like it. Maybe it feels small. Oh, I'm one of millions. Okay, maybe I'll even give you that. I won't, but let's say I'll give you that. Go look up how many people voted in your town's last city council election. Go look it up. Really, right now. But I don't even care if you ignore me. Pause the radio. Turn off the show for a minute and go look it up. Or do it while you listen. How many people voted? Now think about the power you have. Look at that number. Whatever that number is, it's going to depend on where you are. Now, what if you had voted? What if you had brought 5, 10 friends? What? I got this text message last night. This text message is from a friend, someone I know in town. And this is what he said. Please vote May 3rd. Gave me the name of somebody who he's supporting and told me, oh, by the way, we voted no on all the bonds. That's all the text said. Please vote May 3rd. So-and-so is who we're supporting, and we voted no on all the bonds. So why did I get this text message? I got this text message because this person gives a crap, got involved, learned about the issues, learned about the election, and now this person is very clearly copying and pasting this text message to every single person in their contact list. This person is going to win elections. This person is not some annoying neighbor. This person has power. You have power. Incredible amounts of it. You have power. Well, that's what they don't like. You have a lot less power when they brought in 5 people from El Salvador and paid them $500 to stay in the hotel in town, gave them free this, free that. That takes away your power. That's why they want unending illegal immigration. And that's why they put into place, very purposely, all these communist judges around the country. The communist judges were put into place by the communists to protect the revolution. What Joe Biden did, importing 20 million illegals, was a revolutionary act. It was a critical part of the communist revolution of this country. Import new loyal voters, import new criminals who will rape and murder, which only helps the communists gain power. It was a revolutionary act. But the communist isn't stupid. He knew at some point in time people may catch on and may want, a reversal of that. So what did he do? He also put into place judge after judge after judge across the country that will protect that revolution if the American people wake up, which we did, and choose to reject it. Now we are in a situation that is very, very difficult. Now we have to deal with what we have in front of us. And now the Trump administration, they're going to have to say no. That's the thing. They're going to have to say no. The judge is going to have to be ignored. And I know that when you start saying things like that, it sounds so extreme. It sounds so harsh. It sounds like we're crossing the Rubicon here. It sounds like a bridge too far. If the Trump administration does not start ignoring every one of these judges' orders, then Trump's 4 years are going to accomplish almost nothing. Trump's 4 years will have been securing the border, which he did. He deserves all the credit in the world for it. And then, I don't know, some executive orders, all of which will be reversed the next time Democrats get into power. Democrats will destroy the energy sector again on purpose. They'll open up the border again on purpose. None of these things will be permanent unless the Trump administration starts to take steps that make people uncomfortable. If you're going to go ahead and listen to every one of these things, you're not going to make it. You're absolutely not going to make it. I know that's a lot to take in. And so people, when I say that, people will say, well, Chief Justice Roberts, Supreme Court Justice Roberts, he's the one who needs to step up and put a stop to this. Well, that's right. He does. He should. That's what he should do. But we can't decide whether or not we're going to save the country based on whether or not Roberts decides to do the right thing. If he does the right thing, good. He made life easier for us and made it more legitimate along the way. If he doesn't, ignore him too. Round up every single person who is here illegally and send them all home. Every single one. I don't care what the judges say. Don't slow down. Increase the pace. There. Now I said it. We'll get to the good FBI news in a moment. Let's get to a couple emails. Next. It is the Jesse Kelly Show on a Wednesday. Remember, you can email the show, jesse@jessekellyshow.com. Love, hate, death threats, everything is welcome. We welcome your emails. Dear fellow veggie hater, question on communism that I'm sure you've discussed before, but I was hoping you can explain again. What do these normie nut jobs think is the end result if they get their way? Have they never read a history book before? I have a crazy liberal sister that I need to get through to, so I was hoping you can help. I know, don't let them change the subject, which I don't, but it still doesn't seem to get through to her. Thanks, you can say my name. My name is Steve. Says it still doesn't get through to her. I'll tell you what, I will come back to that point. Chris, don't let me forget to come back to that point about it not getting through to her, but what do they think is going to be the end result? I've touched on this before. Let me explain something. The communist foot soldiers who are out there, activist Democrats, you see them all over the place. And the various Democrat branches, right? There's the feminist branch and the Black Lives Matter and the abortion lovers and the climate changers and all these things. Don't ever be fooled into thinking that these people have thought about these things to their logical conclusion. And I'm actually not calling them all stupid. Many of them are really stupid. But you ask, what do they think is going to be the end result? I'm going to explain it in this way. Have you ever in your life struggled with bitterness? Bitterness about something. Anger about something. I'll tell you what. I'll give you an example of me from last night. I won't go into the details of it, but I got this email, and the email was, it actually wasn't iHeart, so don't think it was iHeart, but I got this email, something I'm part of, and the email informed me that I had to log into a new website. I had to do all kinds of different inputting names and addresses and things like that. Jewish producer Chris is already laughing because I don't do these things. These are not things I do. I hate computers. I hate technology. I don't want to log. Well, would you click through the porthole and watch the video? Jesse doesn't do these things. I just spoke about myself in the third person. That was amazing. But I don't. These things make me viscerally angry. And I didn't sign up to do any of these things. All these things got sprung on me. I don't benefit from them. They just kind of landed in my lap. Hey, Jesse, here's a new list of responsibilities for you. Oh, by the way, get that on your schedule right away. No, it's not an HOA, Chris, but you're close. You get what I'm saying. Hey, here's a bunch of stuff you didn't sign up for. Here's a list of new obligations for you. And by the way, you get to log in a computer, which you hate too. Now, There had been a couple other things that happened yesterday. They kind of had me in a bad mood. I had stubbed my toe. Yes, I'm serious. I had a bad lunch. Yes, I'm serious. I was already in a bad place mentally. I got so angry about this new requirement last night. I'm ranting and raving around the kitchen. My boys are eating dinner. I'm talking to them. I'm talking to Ob, and I'm ranting and raving about the whole thing. That I got to this point last night where I actually said, I'm telling you, if they send me one more email, I'm quitting. One more email, and I'm leaving, and I'm not even hesitating to come back. Now, Ob, bless her heart, was doing the best she could to try to talk me off the ledge and calm me down because she knew I was getting to a bad place. She let it go for a little while, and then she talked to me about it, and she said, well, let's think about this. What happens if you quit? We followed it to its logical conclusion, and that was all bad. It was a terrible idea to quit. Now, back to communists. Don't think for a moment that they've thought it through to its logical conclusion in the same way I did not last night when I was ready to quit. They are angry the same way I was about the stupid computer thing. They're bitter. I didn't sign up for this. Why do I have to do this crap? The feminist isn't walking through logically where it ends for her if she's finally able to beat down every man and everything is I am woman, hear me roar. She hasn't thought that through. Well, haven't you thought that through? No, she hasn't thought that through. She's not somebody who's a big thinker, who's trying to build a civilization. She's angry. She's bitter. What is communism? What is its definition? As I've taught you over and over and over again, a religion of the malcontent. A religion of the malcontent. That is how you become a successful communist. You identify groups of malcontents and you walk in and you don't try to sell them communism because nobody wants to buy that crap. You walk in and you sell them revenge. You walk in and you tell them that person you hate, that entity you hate, I will hurt them for you. You give me power and I will hurt them for you. If you want to appeal to one of these Black Lives Matter communist types, you don't sit and read Marx to them. You tell them, hey, Whitey has a lot of things you don't. Give me power and I'll smash them for you and give all that stuff to you. Have they thought that through to its logical conclusion? Of course not. That's not the point. You said you argue with your sister and she doesn't follow it through to its logical conclusion. She's just a destroyer right now. She's just bitter. She's me storming around the kitchen after a bad lunch, getting ready to quit because I have to log into a website I don't like. She's not thinking logically and she won't. She's a destroyer. That's what she does. She's a destroyer. Now, as far as it doesn't seem to get through to her, well, remember, it's not just the malcontent part that's an important part of communism for you to understand. The religion part is important too. This whole obsession with destruction your liberal sister has, it's her whole world. And she's built her life. The communist builds his life around his communism. If you actually manage to shoot down one of her points, if she has to have a moment where she looks in the mirror and has to say, I'm wrong, it's not one issue for her the way it is for you. It's her entire religion. Her entire religion comes crumbling down. So she'd rather just lie, rather ignore the truth. It's human nature.